Welcome to Fly Nubian Queen Network, the network for melanated people like you. I am your host, Marye Dean Esquire, here at thewallstreetlawyer.com. And today I'm coming to you live on Fly Nubian Queen Network to discuss whether or not you need a corporate binder, a corporate kit, or an LLC kit for your LLC. We're going to get into that because I know a lot of times when you start your businesses, you start the business and then you it's one and done, and you tuck everything away and you go on off about your business. But I know you want to know whether or not what is a corporate kit. We're going to go into that. Do you really need one? And if you do need one, then how do you organize it the correct way? So please come in here with me tonight. Hit the share and subscribe button because we are kicking some Black Wall Street knowledge tonight. And drop your hashtag B1 and let me know where you're from. And as you do that, I'm going to go live here so I can go live on Instagram for the first time on my page. Hi, everybody out there in Instagram world. Marye Dean Esquire here at thewallstreetlawyer.com. And I got a question for you. I got a question for you, and I know you probably got a wonderful question for me. Do you need a corporate binder? Hold on. I think I'm having some Wi-Fi issues over here. Let me make sure I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. Yes, I am. Wonder why. Okay. Hi, everybody. Come on in here. I'm going live right now on Fly Nubian Queen Network, the network for melanated people like you. And I decided to go in and go live on my Instagram as well because why not go live on both platforms? So I'm going to be chiming in. I'm going to be going back and forth between Fly Nubian Queen Network, which is Dr. Boyce Watkins' channel, and I'll be coming over here talking to you guys because I got to start going live on my own Instagram page as well because hey, that's what time it is. So the question that I have for you, I want you guys over here to drop your hashtag B1 and hit the share and subscribe button. Do you actually need a corporate binder? That's the question. Do you need a corporate binder? My big answer is it's not required by law in certain states. It's not required that you actually have a corporate binder. No one says you're required to do one, but you are required to maintain your books, right? You are required to maintain your books over time. So I know a lot of the times, especially new business owners, you're starting your company, you're just getting started. You don't have a lot of resources, so you get your company started on your own. You pay your own filing fees. You get on, or you hop on LegalZoom. Let's say you use one of these other companies that are out there, and as corporate assembly companies, and get your LLC, which is one of the most common easily managed models that we have out there. So let's say you get on LegalZoom or you do it yourself, you start your own LLC. But do you actually need a corporate binder? And a lot of those companies will try to give you an upsell. They'll want to sell you a binder, right? A pretty binder with the binding down the side and your name embroidered on the front and all of that jazz, and corporate minutes. If you started a corporation and your bylaws, it'll come with all that and a stamp and a seal. And for most people, you don't do anything with it. It just, oh, I got it, I'm a real business owner. And you take that corporate binder and you put it on the shelf and you do nothing with it. And so that's how we do things differently on blackwallstreet.com, because your business is not just this one time I set it up properly, or maybe you even hire an attorney. Most attorneys will do, a lot of attorneys do still incorporate your business for you. So let's say you hire an attorney, but your typical attorney will incorporate that business, file your paperwork for you, maybe do your operating agreement or your bylaws, which govern the relationship between the owners of the business, give that over to you, and you sign it, you agree, you put it in your nice little pretty binder, and you take it, put it on the shelf, and it does nothing for you. It does nothing for you. So the question is, do you really need a corporate binder, and what actually is it? So let's get into it. So my answer is yes, you need a corporate binder. Your corporate binder is very important, and it's very important for this very reason. Your business is not just this one and done task that is one and done. It is not that I start my company, I started my business, I got my agreement together with the owners, and I tucked it away, and now that's all I needed to do. That's not how this thing works. Your business is your baby. It has its own social security number, which we refer to as the EIN, okay? It has its own social security number. You give it its own social security number, which means that it is alive. It is a living, breathing thing. Okay. And as it is a living, breathing thing, it grows over time. And the way you chronicle that growth and the way you document that growth is with you guessed it, your corporate binder, ladies and gentlemen, your corporate binder. I'm so proud of mine. It's kind of like, for lack of a better analogy, it is similar to scrapbooking for your business. That is how you should think about it. It is scrapbooking. And so it's documenting every little important thing that happens in your business, when you get into a new agreement, you need to tuck that away. When you get it, when you create a new item and you have to copyright something, you need to copyright it and put that paperwork in there. When you create a new a new brand or something that needs to be trademarked, so new intellectual property, you need to protect that intellectual property and tuck it on in there. So let's get into this. Let's see what it says. LLCs. What is an LLC kit, and do I need one? LLCs are required to maintain a company minute book that holds things like the formation paperwork, the licenses, the resolutions, and the meeting minutes. It is one of the first things requested when your company is audited or being sold. Let me say that one more time. Your corporate book, your corporate kit, your corporate binder, however you want to refer to it, whether you have an LLC or whether or not you have an LLC or a corporate or whatever corporate structure that you're operating in, you need to keep corporate books. And okay, I'm using the term corporate to talk about all business entities. Let me make sure I make that very clear. So, and it is one of the first things requested. I'm having issues on my Instagram. It is one of the first things that is requested if you are being audited or if you're being looked at by other corporate investors. So let's get into what is in your corporate kit and do you actually need one? So let's go through mine. So that's why I pulled out mine. I created my own because while they think you can get one from the companies, but I like to create my own because I put a lot more detailed things in mine than what you're going to find in your typical corporate kit that you're going to find on from LegalZoom or any of those other parties. So let me go. So first things first, what we do on Black Wall Street is we go over your lift systems, your legal, the insurance, your financial, and your tax systems that every business needs to lift that business to the next level. So again, if you're just not joining, Marye Dean Esquire here at thewallstreetlawyer.com, coming to you live talking about whether or not you do need a corporate kit and what's going to go in that corporate kit if you do need one. If you're looking to grow your business, please check out flynubianbusiness.com. If you're looking to better manage your money, please check out flynubianmoney.com. You can always find me, Marye Dean Esquire, online at thewallstreetlawyer.com. So let's get into this corporate kit, okay? So again, the foundation that I go over with my clients is your legal, the insurance, your financial, and your tax systems. Okay. And so when we're going, the way I put the corporate binder together is to go over those legal, insurance, financial, and tax systems. So that's how we organize our corporate binders here on Black Wall Street. So in the legal section, we have a tab for legal. If you cannot get some pre-printed tabs like I have here, then you may want to get one of these. Oh, I love this thing. Keep it right in my back pocket. I just make me a little label maker. So you can get a regular kind of dividers if you like, and just create your own labels. Create your own labels if you don't have a pre-made dividers like I have here. Okay, so let's get into it. So my first tab is legal, because that's the foundation of your business. So in the legal section for your business, what are you going to need? You're going to start with your corporate formation documents, the first tab. So this would be your articles of incorporation, your articles of organization for an LLC. Depending on what state you're in, they do refer to them as different by different titles, but every organization, every formal entity will have organizational documents. So in mine, I have my certificate of filing, my certificate of formation, my articles of organization. You also want to put your EIN in here behind your, which is the social security number for your business. You want to put that behind the legal section. That's first, because that is, again, that's what makes, that gives your business your corporate identity. That is your business's social security number. So that's one of the very first corporate documents. You have the starting of the business for me, and then the EIN right behind it. I also filed Form 2553. That is a Form 2553 to have my LLC taxed as a S corp. And you may want to do that. Why do you want to have your LLC taxed as an S corp? You want to have your LLC taxed as an S corp so that you can save on employment taxes, right? When you are an LLC is taxed as a sole proprietor when you're a person by yourself, which in my company, the one I'm going through, I actually have a business partner, but in my law firm, I'm a sole proprietor. So if you want to be, all LLCs are either taxed as partnerships or sole proprietors, unless you elect to have your LLC taxed as a, what is that again? An S corp, an S corporation, so you can take advantage of the some tax deductions, more tax deductions for you, more money in your pocket, more money to invest in your business so that you can continue to make more money and grow the life of your business. Some other things that I have in my corporate document section of my LLC corporate kit is my DBAs. Why do you want to have a DBA for your business if your business is incorporated with which means that you have the INC behind the name, or if you have the LLC? Well, here's why. Every business is actually required by law to have in the business title LLC after the business. It either has to say LLC or a limited liability company or some form of abbreviation of that. If you have an incorporation, by law, you have to have INC after the name of the business. This has to be stated to put the public on notice. If you want to advertise that business, you say, well, yeah, but I see McDonald's name sometimes. They don't have McDonald's Incorporated behind their name. Or every time I see these other corporations in their marketing advertising, I don't see the INC or the LLC or whatever their corporate structure is behind their name. So how do they get away with this? Well, the way that they get away with this is by filing what we call a DBA, a doing business as certificate, also known as an assumed name certificate. And that allows you, you may have heard of this before. I know you have, but you're familiar with it because most people who do not have any type of business structure, who may want to hold themselves out and do business in a different name, will go get an assumed name certificate or a DBA, which doesn't protect you from liability at all, but it does allow you to put yourself out there in a different name. So that is where you heard this before. But the trick is for companies who have the INC incorporated, or companies that are an LLC, a limited liability company, if they also get a DBA on top of their LLC or INC, they can do name in that particular business name. So I have In the Black, for example, I have In the Black Resources LLC, which has an assumed name certificate or a DBA for Black Wall Street, as well as for blackwallstreet.com, because these are brands that I've created to hold myself, my business, In the Black Resources out before the public. So all of that, you get, a nice little clean paper trail on how you show up in the world so that there's no ambiguity. So look, if you're coming in from Fly Nubian Queen Network, I want you to hit your hashtag B1. And you know what? Why don't we just do that everywhere? Because Black is beautiful. Black is first. Black is powerful. And that's just what I'm on. I'm B first. And I love that philosophy with Dr. Boyce Watkins and Fly Nubian Queen, which is why I'm proud to be a Fly Nubian Queen. But I digress. So please do that for me. So the first tab, we have the legal. Then you have behind your legal in your corporate binder, you will have your corporate formation documents. After your corporate formation documents, you're going to need to put another tab that I have as the operating agreement. And because I have we have an LLC that is taxed as an S corp. We filed the form 2553. I showed you that a second ago. So the next form that I have in here is an operating agreement. What is an operating agreement? An operating agreement is the agreement between the business owners of the company for a limited liability company. And you always want to have one. And that's another, do you need an operating agreement? I'm gonna do an operating agreement walkthrough in another live, as well as answer that question. Well, I'm gonna answer the question for you right now because it's so important. Yes, yes, darling. Yes, you need an operating agreement. These things might not be required by law, but look, and it's not as important. I will give you this. If you are a sole proprietor, if you are a solo business owner, it is not extremely important because it's really an agreement between you and you. But if you definitely have a multi-member limited liability company, you do need to have an operating agreement in place. You need to especially have an operating agreement in place because that is going to be there's going to need to be an agreement between the members of the corporation to make sure, or the members of the LLC, to make sure that you guys are on the same page. Okay, that you are on the same page when it comes to your rights and your responsibilities, your duties, your percentages, how buy-ins, buyouts, what happens when one of the members wants to leave the company, what happens when another member wants to buy into the company. So that is the purpose of actually having your operating agreement, and that goes in your corporate binder. Okay. Is that you book for sale that has the advice in it? Yes, that is my book for sale. Someone asked the question in the live. Let me post it. So yes, the book that I do have all of this information is in a nice little convenient place. Thank you, Jessica Toalino. Why don't you drop your hashtag B1 so I know where you're from tonight? Thank you for that wonderful question. Yes, I do give you all of this information in my book that I'm selling on Amazon, blackwallstreet.com, How to Build a Thriving Black Business Using the Laws of the Universe. You can find all of this information in there as well. The importance of these agreements and a lot of other things as well for your business. I spent a lot of time working on that book. So, and it's endorsed by the great Iyanla Vanzant, who has the show Iyanla Fix My Life. So I thank you for that question. I thank you for that question. Look, someone says they like my book. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Sean P. the Great. You are Sean P. the Great. Thank you for that compliment about my book. You know how Beyonce said it best when she said, artists are always sensitive about our stuff. And while, I am an artist too, I create artistically, but right now you're getting the highbrow stuff, and I poured my little heart and soul in that book. So that's what you're going to get. I'm glad that you like it. So you want to put your operating agreement in your corporate binder, and look, your corporate binder. The reason why it's so important, like I said, it's like a scrapbook, and you're constantly adding to it as your business baby grows up. And so in mine, on the next page, I have an amendment. We did an amendment to my operating agreement because I end up getting some more money for an investor, and so I needed to cut in the percentage and cut in that investor. Anytime you add money, and more additional money, additional funds to your business, your capital investment, maybe that's going to require an amendment to your operating agreement. And so if you have an amendment, you just create the amendment. And I should do a live about the amendments too. I'm gonna do that for you. So you have your you create your amendment, you put your amendment right behind your operating agreement, and you keep it moving. Business licenses that you're going to need for your business, there's a tab for that. Meeting minutes and resolutions. You need to have every meeting, every major meeting that you have, especially if you're a corporation. Now, one of the advantages of having an LLC, which is why we say you need to have an LLC, is because you get you get to shield your personal liability. You get to do that, but you also have limited flexibility. You have a little bit more flexibility than you do with a corporation. A corporation is you have to be on it with your corporate meetings. You have to be on it with keeping your books. All your resolutions have to be in writing. It's just a lot more rules and a lot more difficult to manage, especially for small business owners. So this is one of the reasons why we always recommend your LLC. Whew, take a breath, Mary. Take a breath. If you are looking to grow your business, please check out flynubianbusiness.com. If you're looking to manage your money, please check out flynubianmoney.com. You can always find me, Marye Dean Esquire, online at thewallstreetlawyer.com. Okay, and my new course and everything that I'm promoting right now, blackwallstreet.com. How can I forget? Because I popped $75,000 for that domain. I love saying that. My business partner does not, because he's a multimillionaire, and he says I might be cheaper than the brand because it could be worth millions. But I think spending $75,000 on a .com is a lot, and I'm proud of it. So the next tab is going to be your agreements, your corporate agreements. Every single contract that your business gets into, you want to have it in writing. You need all of the, you want to make sure that you have a meeting of the minds. There should be a contract between the people who own the business. There should be a contract with people, all of the people that you're doing business with. All of those agreements should go inside of your corporate binder, especially if they're big ones. And the reason why you want to do that is because that you're talking now, that shows that what relationships you're getting into, that shows the business health, your business growth. And let me tell you something, if you're going to get in a business investor, all of those corporate contracts come into play, and it will look good on you if you've aligned yourself with some strategic people and some strategic partners that will make the value of the equity in the business go up. So those corporate contracts is a good indicator of your business health, what your business is doing, what you plan, what you got coming, how much money is coming in. All of those things should be documented in your corporate contracts, and you want to keep those in your corporate binder and update your corporate binder as needed. So I have a couple of contracts because your girl been busy, okay? Your girl been busy. So I have my couple contracts. I'm turn the page. I've been doing stuff. I got this contract and this contract and this contract. I got to sue somebody on it. We're going to keep it moving because I'm going to mess with the wrong one. So, which reminds me, if you are a business owner, you cannot represent yourself in court. In most states, there are some exceptions to the rule, but in most states, no business can represent itself in court. It has to be represented by an attorney. So if your business ever finds itself in the middle of litigation, I am your girl to call, because not only do I help you manage your business and grow your business with Black Wall Street lift systems, which we really focus on trying to do everything in our power to keep you out of court. But if you find yourself in court and that's the way you come with me, I'm your girl too, because I can fight. All right, I digress. Another thing you want to put in your corporate binder, and yes, you do need one. We're talking about whether or not you need a corporate binder tonight. And of course you need a corporate binder. Everybody needs a corporate binder, because your business is a living, breathing thing. And that's what I really think we bring to the table to you at Black Wall Street. We bring that home, that idea that your business is not just done because you filed your LLC paperwork and you got your incorporation and you got your stamp and you put a contract or two together and now you're off in business and you don't have to look at these things ever again. That is not true. You should be, because it's not just starting the business that is key and ideal. The most important thing is to make sure you are maintaining that business structure over time, maintaining that corporate structure over time. And one of the best ways to make sure you are maintaining that corporate structure over time is by the upkeep and updating of your corporate binder that is tracking all of your corporate deals and business relationships and business activity. So, and you don't want to start scrambling to get this together at the last minute. Let's say you're audited maybe by the IRS. You want to, if your corporate binder has been updated correctly, because we're going to get to the finance. I know I'm long-winded. I'm still in legal, but we're going to get to the financial part too. If your books are updated properly, then you will not have to get your books together at the last minute. And you know what is a good reminder? Because I'm going to tell you when a lot of people do that. Because I used to do this too. So I'm not just talking at you. I'm in the trenches with you. And, we used to get our books together at the last, right before tax time, a month before tax time, you're doing all your books for 12 months. That is not how to run your business, people. You should be doing your months month to month. You should be looking at your books month to month, examining your business health month to month, examining whether or not you're meeting your financial goals month to month, and the document that is going to make sure that you're going to put those records in of your profit and loss statements on a monthly basis and a quarterly basis is going to go inside your corporate binder. Guys, your corporate binder is a living, breathing representation of your living, breathing business baby. Marye Dean Esquire here at the WallStreetLawyer.com, coming to you live on Fly Nubian Queen Network, the network for melanated people like you. And I'm coming live to you on my Instagram for the first time. Yeah, I think this is my first time going live on Instagram. So let me wave at some people because I'm glad y'all in here with me tonight because, you know, it's something to be talking to yourself. So I'm so glad that y'all are here with me tonight. Another tab that you want to have in your corporate binder, and yes, you do need one, is your branding documents. Now, these are tabs that we put together here at blackwallstreet.com that is quite different from what you're going to find at LegalZoom or any of these other big businesses that kind of does cater to the masses, but not necessarily to the details of you individually. So another tab that so you may want to not only watch this again when you're going through your own corporate binder, but you may want to hit the share and subscribe button, because what we believe on Black Wall Street is that we believe that iron sharpens iron, and united we stand, divided we fall. So we want all of us to get it. We want all of us to get it and get it good and get it big. Get in there, get all in there, get it all good. So we want to share the knowledge because, you know, it's the law of attraction is a big deal. And the more that you give, the more is being given back to you. So this is why one of my resolutions this year, one of the things that I'm definitely doing more is giving more in more ways that I can. And I spent maybe the past year and a half working on a product line so that I could give you all of this stuff, starting with the book blackwallstreet.com and a series of courses that we're going to start open enrollment for real soon. So if you want to stay tuned and join my mailing list, please pop over to blackwallstreet.com or the wallstreetlawyer.com and just hit them. You can do the contact us page. You know what I actually recommend is to take the 20 lift assessment to see where you are with your lift systems in your business. So branding documents go in here too. And I found Jessica says she's purchasing a book, which is great, but I got to give this shout out to Dr. Boyce Watkins because hashtag Uncle Boyce is the truth. That is my uncle. And she says the Black Business School is the best investment I ever made. Shout out to Jessica Toalino, hashtag B1. Thank you for joining me tonight on Fly Nubian Queen Network, the network for melanated people like you. And I want to thank you for your purchase of my book tonight. She's going to go to Amazon to buy a copy of blackwallstreet.com right now. So I appreciate your support. I really do. I really do. And I appreciate your support, and I'm going to pay it forward. We have Aziz Amatullah Rahim, who says, please support my new product placement campaign, fundly.com/ERE-WHON-new-product-placement. You need to get a vanity domain. Ain't nobody trying to remember all that. You need to pop a vanity domain. Google sells domains for cheap. I know I paid $75,000 for mine, but you can pay little to nothing. They're $12. Go pop a vanity domain on that. So when someone gives you a shout out, it's a lot easier to read and it's a lot easier to remember. But that's just my 2 cents. I'm the queen of the .coms, the wallstreetlawyer.com. And I just wanted to give you that free advice as I go back into some of my products. And you want to own your branding documents. Behind your branding documents in your corporate binder, you will put things like the filing receipt for your trademark application, because you want to protect your intellectual property so that no one can run off with your intellectual property and your baby so much that you poured your heart and your soul into. You don't want someone to be able to easily take that. So you want to make sure you're protected, whether you filed it for yourself or you hired an attorney to file it for you. At least do something. Okay. And when you do that, you put that behind the legal section, behind the branding docs tab. I've also found in this section, you're going to have things like your copyright application, because we published a book, blackwallstreet.com. That information is in this section as well. Nope, actually, I take that back. I didn't put that in branding. Branding documents, I only have the trademark stuff because that is protecting the brand of the intellectual property. Ownership documents, that's where I put the purchase of our domain for blackwallstreet.com. We paid $75,000 for it. I know I'm not supposed to keep bragging on it, but look, God is good. God is good. That's what we put in this mission. That is how much I believe in this mission. And I have to tell you the story about that because when I bid for it, the person went up to $375,000 and I talked him back down. He went up to the person who sold me this domain went up to $375,000 because of the death of George Floyd. Believe it or not. Because of the death of George Floyd, he felt like the domain it had risen in value and he wanted to tax me because of that. And I appealed in my negotiating with him. I appealed to his better nature. Which reminds me, I am teaching a class in 50 cents, and I have a class on negotiation in 50 cents program with the high school students. And I have a class on negotiation. I'm gonna make sure I talk about that. I appealed to his better nature and said, "How dare you jack up your price on the killing because of the killing, the murder, of our dear brother George Floyd. I could not believe that he was going to be a capitalist with no heart and soul and jack that price up on me. And if he jacked the price, that I would not pay $375,000 for the demand. That had to go to the next highest bidder. But $75,000 a man, we sprang it. So he went up on. So I appealed to his better nature and talked him down to that price and end up buying the domain for $75,000. But I put that is because that's digital. Real estate is a digital asset, and I put that behind the ownership tab, which is behind the legals tab in your corporate binder that you definitely need. Okay. I also put my copyright receipt behind that as well, because that is something that is our intellectual property that we also own and want to make in the take a breath, Mary. I'm going so fast. If you're looking to join your business, please check out flynubianbusiness.com. If you're looking to better manage your money, please check out flynubianmoney.com. You can always find me, Marye Dean Esquire, online at thewallstreetlawyer.com. And so I had to calm down and take a breath because I know I've been talking really fast. I don't need, do y'all even understand what I be saying half the time? Because I be just flying through on Fly Nubian Queen. Just girl, breathe. Breathe. Yes, so I put the copyright ownership of our book. I put that behind our ownership documents. Another tab that you will have behind the legal section, the last tab that I have here is your employment documents. If you have employees, that would be your employment application, your employment contracts, the contracts that you have with your employees. Maybe your corporate handbook could go behind here as well. So this is what you would want to put behind your employment documents tab. So now that we've gone through the tabs for your legal section, for your legal, insurance, financial, and tax binder, right? We're going to go into the insurance tab. The insurance tab, I have a blue tab for insurance, and then all of my sub tabs are white. So that's something you should know too. I did do that to try to give myself some type of differentiation between the tabs and the sub tabs. So we have the big tabs again are going to be for your legal, your insurance, your financial and tax systems, and your baby tabs. We just went through all of those in the legal section, and now we're moving over to your insurance section. And this is a part of your corporate binder, whether you are operating as an LLC or an INC, your corporate binder that you have structured for your business so that you can document the growth of your business. So should you ever be audited, and God bless you if you ever find an investor, all of these documents will be handy. You can put your hands right on them. I recommend not just having a hard copy binder, but also a digital binder. I recommend not just having your digital binder, meaning having everything stored in the cloud, which I do offer for all of my clients. Your whole profile, your whole corporate file is stored in the cloud. But I also recommend, and so I do your digital binder is stored in the cloud as well. But I highly recommend that binder is not just stored in the cloud, but that the binder is also, you have these documents printed off and you're able to touch it, hold it, love all on it. But scrapbooking, because I don't think that just works best progress for me, I like to be able to look at my progress. I like to be able to print and see. And as I'm going through it, I thought of some stuff just now. I just signed that new contract. I need to put a copy of that contract in here. I just added. I just filed another trademark. I need to put that in here. So this is a doc. This binder is forever evolving, just like you and your business. Okay. So, thank you. Great advice. Thank you. TAE Tay got him 1990. Tay got him 1994. Okay, took me a minute for the little slow bus, but thank you for the compliment. So behind the insurance section on your business. Oh, and yes, let me see. We got Antonio Jackson in here tonight. He dropped his B1 in the chat. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, we got Howard Bush in the house tonight. He says, awesome. Got to get my structure right. Going to order Black Wall Street. Thank you for your support, brother. I appreciate that. That's right. So I appreciate the sort. That's one of the things I love about being a part of the B1 Nation and the B1 family is that we really do support one another, and support one another because united we stand, divided we fall. So we really are that kind of a close-knit community, and I appreciate that. But I digress. So we're into we just finished the legal section of your corporate binder. Now we're moving over into your insurance, legal, insurance, financial, and tax. So now we're in the insurance. And for all your insurance needs, for you have your home, business, and life. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. You have your home, whether you are whether you are a mortgage, you're paying a mortgage in a house, or you are renting in an apartment, there's still insurance that you may have with that you do have with that. And if you have that kind of insurance, you want to put that behind the insurance in the home section. Then you have business insurance. Every business is different. Every business will have a different insurance requirement, as well as licenses required. So as an attorney, you know that I have to carry malpractice insurance for my law firm. So that is a different requirement that is actually required for my other business that is not necessarily needed there. So if you have any type of insurance for your business, it will go behind the business tab under the business sub tab under the insurance section of your corporate binder. The last hello and happy new year to you, female owner. S_STP Auto. Thank you for hopping in tonight with me on Instagram. I'm so glad to have you here. I want to make sure I acknowledge my friends and family out there because you are my friends and family. You united we stand, divided we fall. So thank you. Thank you for the compliment. I am giving everything. Yes, Connie, I'm giving you everything. Earrings, eyes, glasses, and corporate binders because you got to get it right. New year, new me, but we have the same old business, but we're not going to run it the same old way in 2022. We are going to run it differently because if you want to be better, if you want to have change starts with you and it starts internally. And the way that we refer to our lift systems here on Black Wall Street, we say that our lift systems are the internal work, right? So the work that you have to do as a person. For me, I'm very spiritual. I'm prayed up. I get up in the morning meditating. I'm bubble bathing, meditating. I'm getting ready, meditating. I'm riding to work, meditating, getting my mind right. Because the world, we done went through COVID, a pandemic, and all kind of stuff. So I cover myself. So I'm very, very spiritual. What we talk about with your lift foundation systems is the spiritual work that you need to do on yourself, on your business, on the internal stuff of your business. That's what we consider. That's how we look at our lift systems here. So we went through the legal section. We've gone through the insurance. You got your home business and your life insurance. Life insurance is very important. It's one of the greatest ways that you can transfer wealth in your community is by getting life insurance. If you have children, you definitely need life insurance. And it's not going to be that crazy expensive. The younger you are and the healthier you are, that's for sure. But you don't have to die and leave your children with nothing. You can actually leave them with a trust fund by getting a proper insurance policy in place. And you want, if you get the, once you get the insurance, you really want to set it up and put it in, have everything go into a trust. So, and I'll get into some more webinars about that later on, but we've gone through our legal now, we've gone through the insurance, family, business, and life, and now we're into the financial part. And in the financial part of your corporate binder, again, this is the corporate binder according to blackwallstreet.com, is very much more in detail than a corporate binder and what they're going to tell you that you need at LegalZoom. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you, LegalZoom, it's just what they include. No, we'll go over there later, because it's really, it's not as detailed as this, and it doesn't make sense for me to backtrack and read theirs, and it's not as thorough as this. So if you're missing some things, you can go back and watch this again. Make sure you hit the share and subscribe button so that you can share this with other Black entrepreneurs, because we are going to lift each other up, and as we lift each other up, we will all do what? Rise in power. Yes, say it with me. Rise in power. Say it with me. Be one family. Say it with me. Okay. So the next section, we're in the finance. We went over our legal section, the insurance section. We went over the subsections behind each one of those. If you're just now joining, Marye Dean Esquire here at the wallstreetlawyer.com, talking about whether or not you need a corporate binder. We've already gotten to the point where you know you do. And so I'm going over what should go inside your corporate binder and through the tabs. And we've gone through legal, insurance, and now we're in the financial section of your tab. So right behind the legal, the finance tab. My finance tab is pink. Pretty pink. Right behind the finance tab, the first thing I have is my bank account information for my business. And if you do not have a business bank account, ladies and gentlemen, go get one. You need one. You need a business bank account. And the benefit of having a business bank account, especially if you've already incorporated your business as an INC or set your business up as an LLC, the reason why you do need your corporate bank account is because you want to run that business like a real business. If you don't run that business like a real business, you know what the court will do? They will do this little fancy trick called piercing the corporate veil. And when the company, when the court pierces the corporate veil, what happens is they say they pierce the corporate veil because they say, hey, this person is not running their business like a true business. And because this person is not running their business like a true business, I am asking you, Mr. Big Court, Mr. Judge, or Miss Judge, is 2022 now, Miss Judge. I am asking you, the honorable justice of this court, judge of this court. I am asking you to disregard their corporate entity so that I can hold them personally liable and get my recovery from their personal bank account, because they were running their corporate business out of their personal bank account anyway, because they were commingling assets, and we can't even tell what's from the business and what's from the person. So let's just act like the business is not there, especially since, Judge, they are acting like the business is not there. So that's how you get and so you could have set that business up, but because you did not maintain that corporate business structure over time, it's like you never even had it. You wasted all that time and money, and you may as well not have had it. So one of the best ways to make sure you are maintaining that corporate structure over time is through the use of a corporate binder in your book, documenting everything that you do in your business. Okay. All right. So we're up to the financial part of the business, which is one of my favorite parts, because one of my taglines on Instagram says money sleeps, but neither do I. I'm the wallstreetlawyer.com and all that jazz. So the first thing is my business bank account. The second sub tab, well, actually, that's before the sub tab behind the finance section. So the very first, ladies and gentlemen, the very first sub tab that you'll want to incorporate in your corporate binder is going to be your profit and loss statements. And it is the first month of the year. So I want to caution all of you people out there in internet world. I want to caution you to start this year off right. We're going to start this year off right. We're going to have our corporate books tight. We're going to start this year off right. We're going to have all our corporate books tight. Okay, don't quit your day job, Mary. Marye Dean Esquire here at the wallstreetlawyer.com, and we are talking about whether or not you should have a corporate book. And if you do, what goes in your corporate books. I'm using the term for all kind of business structures. I definitely highly recommend that you have one, especially if you are a multi-member well, you need one, period, but the agreements are definitely between the business owners if you have a multi-member business. But yes, so let's get back into this. The first tab behind the finance section is going to be your profit and loss statements. I want you guys looking at your profit and loss statements every single month, analyzing your business health every single month, knowing what you did last year, what you did last month, and you can compare them month to month, so you can assess your business health month to month. So the first sub tab behind the finance section in our corporate binder is going to be a profit and loss statement. The next tab after that is going to be your balance sheet. I have my balance sheet in here for 2020. Total liabilities and equity for our business. I'm so proud of my baby business, even though it's so new, because of the amount of investment that we put in here. Our total liabilities and equity started out the gate $125,000. Part of that is the domain fee the digital real estate that we bought for $75,000. That value doesn't go anywhere. It stays right here at blackwallstreet.com. So you want to have your balance sheet, your profit and loss statements. Behind your financial tab in your corporate binder, we have your profit and loss statements. We have your balance sheet. We have your general ledger, accounts receivable, which is going to include who owes you money, right? So you check that, because you part of your business is constantly analyzing your corporate books to see how you're doing. And if you have any kind of business credit that you've applied for or got, there's a tab that you want to put for that as well as any estate planning docs. I put the estate planning docs behind the finance section, because your estate planning is for your finances. It's the planning of your finances beyond your life. And so that those documents would go behind your estate planning docs. You may have things like insurance that you've established, but you also want those insurance payments to be paid out into a trust. So you may have some of that information behind your estate planning docs. You may set up a trust. You may have you have a trust, you don't really need a will, but you may have some other thing, guardianship documents that you've set up for your children. If you don't have guardianship documents, which I know you got guys, children out there, but what happens to you when you die? And what are you passing on? What kind of legacy are you leaving behind? And does that legacy includes more than money, ladies and gentlemen. Money is not everything. Money is everything. Money affects everything, but money is not everything. So there are other things that will go into your legacy and the estate that you want to leave behind for the next generation. Things like your family purpose, your family mission, your words to live by, recipes, this mama's old diamond ring. There's so many things that you may find of value that we would want to go behind your estate planning documents. So now we're moving into the very last tab under your legal, insurance, financial, and tax systems. So remember, we said that you do need a corporate binder. And I've gone through the tabs that we have for our corporate binders and how we set them up at blackwallstreet.com. And we do that by narrowing out your legal, your insurance, your finance, and your tax. And then we do the sub tabs under right behind those. And I went through all of those in details. If you missed that, then make sure you go back and watch this video from the very beginning. And please hit the share and subscribe button so that other Black entrepreneurs can get this same information as well. So I have a question here. Sorry, people, you said the types of insurance are home, business, and life. Yes, those are the three main categories for the type of insurance that you need. You need insurance for your home, which will include, whether you are mortgaging your property or you're renting your property, it would be renter's insurance. If you're a homeowner, you have homeowner's insurance. You have car insurance, and anything else that you insure of value. You have your personal, you have your home, your personal, and life. Let me see, go back to the insurance. Look, at if you missed that, make sure you go back and watch that. You can also watch it on Fly Newbie and Queen Network, the network for melanated people like you. Yes, home, business, and life. And if you have children, I highly recommend life insurance, whether you have children or not, because you're gonna have to pass away. And life insurance is not for you. Life insurance is for everybody that you're leaving behind. That's the key. And so if you have children, life insurance is really, really important. But if if you don't want to leave if you like me, I don't have children yet. I would hate to leave my siblings with my bills if I passed away. So they have life insurance out on me. Cause my sister said she ain't gonna be caught off guard. She ain't doing no fundraise. No, no, no. We got insurance together. Yes, yes. So I want to know how many of you guys actually have insurance, life insurance out there. And I do go in the book. If you do purchase a copy of my book, I talk about the different types of insurance in detail here, as well as what kind of insurance do you want on your life? Should you have life insurance? Should you have term or permanent? And so I highly advise you to get that book and read it. And I just got the audio book copy back today as well, because I know that time is of the essence. Time is money, money is time. And so in order to make it even more convenient for you, I do have an audio book, and I'll do some deals with that as well. So the very last tab for your corporate binder is going to be the tax tab. And the first tab behind the tax section is going to be the tax forms. Tax forms will include things like I have here a change of address because I moved, and so I had to change my address for my business. Actually, I did the business. Originally, I filed the business using my home address. And once we got a location, I wanted to change the corporate location on my take a breath, girl. I be talking. I want to change the address with the IRS, and so that's behind the tax forms. And we've also filed taxes because the business is that old. Even though I've been building, it hasn't really gone into business, but I did file my taxes for 2020, and so that will be in the last section for the taxes. As well as you may want to keep your tax diary if you keep a tax diary. But in 2022, I say that in my book, you need to keep a tax diary because you can go through your bank statements, and now, which is why you want to keep your your bank account separate. You want your personal bank account and your business bank account. You can just simply have your bookkeeper audit and examine your corporate books, and you just only use your corporate debit card for all of your corporate purchases, and that makes it a really, really easy to make sure that your books are in order. Right. And so we'll go. I'm going live. I'm dropping nuggets here. And so I will do another live on the value of working with how you work with the bookkeeper and how to make sure you are maximizing your tax deductions so you can get the most money back in your tax return. I'll do that a little bit later. But again, the last tab in your corporate binder is going to be in the tax tab, the tax section. If you'd like me to email you a copy of these the tabs that you're going to need in your corporate binder, you can go fill that out on my contact form at blackwallstreet.com, or you can use the wallstreetlawyer.com, whatever is more comfortable to you, darling. It's all about you, darling. Yes, it is. Marye Dean Esquire here at the wallstreetlawyer.com, and we went through a corporate binder by going through my corporate binder for Black Wall Street. I'm very proud of my baby. I did mine myself because I have custom made tabs, custom made pre-printed tabs, and which in my opinion, for lack of a better word, just shits on what LegalZoom got going on. Yes, I said it. We shitting on LegalZoom. Okay. So I can't stand when people try to compare me to LegalZoom and say, well, I can do it. Look, go over there. I know what LegalZoom does in their corporate binder. They're not going to you're going to buy a corporate binder from them. They're going to send you this beautiful embellished, embossed kit. And you're going to look at it, you're going to sign a certificate, and you're going to forget about it. That's not how we manage our corporate books over here. Your corporate binder is a living, breathing document that should be updated every single month because you're doing business every single month. You're growing every single month. Just like you update your scrapbook, mothers out there, for your real newborn babies, you update that scrapbook. When the baby takes its first step, you put in another picture. When the baby grows an inch, you put in another picture. That is exactly how you need to be operating with your corporate binder. That is how we do things at blackwallstreet.com. Stay tuned for the courses and the workshops. I'm very excited about that, to be partnering with Dr. Boyce Watkins on those things. And so I'm extremely excited about that. Got some big things popping for 2022. And until we meet again, if you are looking to grow your business, please check out flynubianbusiness.com. If you're looking to manage your money, please check out flynubianmoney.com. You can always find me, Marye Dean Esquire, here online at thewallstreetlawyer.com. And it was a pleasure, as always, to be talking to you. Oh, let me see, because I always try to honor everybody. We got Dorothy Perry here, Basque.tech. Yep, I want to make sure I give my shout outs to the people who are here, because you do not have to be here with me. And so I definitely want to appreciate you for watching. So again, thanks for watching and have a good night. Bye bye. Mm.